Rajajeshwari, by the boundless compassion of Bhagavan Hanuman, by the blessings of all great Mahapurushas all over the world, in particular our Param Pujya Guru Maharaj, we have once again completed our blissful chanting of the Hanuman Chalisa. Perhaps all over the world many people are chanting now at this moment. Each one for himself, each one performs the chanting for oneself. Whatever one sows, one reaps. The law of this world is so beautiful that there is a cause and an effect also. With the principle of cause and effect only, the entire, all over the world, many things are functioning. So keeping the cause, where there is a proper cause, there will be a proper effect. And where there is an improper cause, there will be defect in the effect. So keeping this in mind, we, by the grace of Hanuman, by the grace of our masters, we have sincerely, with devotion, chanted the names of Hanuman Chalisa. So 100% there is no doubt that grace will descend upon us. It is already descending upon us. The fact that we are every day doing it with so much joy and bliss is an indication of grace on us. Now we will continue the Sundara Kandam. Sundara Kandam, the most beautiful, is called Sundara Kandam itself, where the description of Hanuman deciding to go to Lanka and then bring the news of Sita. Now we are on the verse number 15. We saw that Hanuman had already pressed the mountain with his legs and hands, and flowers have complete, beautiful flowers have shed, all the trees have shed flowers, and then water has come. The mountain has also shed water, that means springs have arose. Pidyamanastu balina Mahendrastena parvataha Ritir nirvartayamasa Kanchananjana rajati. Another beautiful indication. As Hanuman is giving pressure on the mountain is only becoming more and more beautiful. What is happening? With that Pidyamanastu Balina Mahendrastena Parvataha, that particular mountain, by the pressure applied by Hanuman, it is slowly showing some lines on it. It is showing some lines on it, and those streaks were all of gold and silver, beautiful colors of gold and silver, if one is able to see there. Pressed by that mighty Hanuman, streaks of gold, silver and antimony color appeared on the Mahendra mountain. So when a rainbow appears in the sky, we do not know the principle of that. When a rainbow appears in the sky, we do not know the principle. And you know there are some insects, like the firefly in the night. There are some insects in the firefly which looks so beautiful in the darkness. Nothing else will be seen but the flies will be seen. Similarly, there is another island, I don't know, somewhere, where you find all blue color light, all insects, blue color light insects. So like that, there is so much treasure hidden in the nature, and the nature is revealing itself by the presence of Hanuman there. Mumo chashila shailo Vishala samanashila Madhyamen jushto Dhumaraji-rivanalaha. See how much description. Can you imagine? Tens of thousands of years ago, Valmiki is talking about sulfur. Valmiki is talking about antimony. Valmiki is talking about gold and silver from the mountain being revealed. Tens of thousands of years ago, we did not know when, nobody knows the exact date of the compilation of Ramayana. And we feel that we have discovered gold in the recent past. We have discovered gold in the silver in the recent past. Thousands of years ago. That is why in the Veda mantras also you will see, this is Shanchame, Mayaschame, Priyanchame, Nukamaschame, that all the metals are mentioned. All the grains are mentioned. It's a Veda mantra. Vedas are the oldest mantras. So that means the knowledge was there for rishis. Not necessarily they had used them. It's not necessary to apply a knowledge when it is not necessary to apply it. Just like a parent, a father or a mother, father and mother both are their parents, they see the child. When they bring up the child, they don't expose all their knowledge to the child. The father might be a very great economist. The mother may be a very good barrister. So you need not have to tell the child according to the article number so and so. As per article number so and so, you have to sit down. You need not have to tell the child all those things. Similarly, the rishis knew all the things and they revealed only those things whenever it was required for the yuga. So similarly, the mountain is now revealing so many beautiful treasures as Hanuman is present there. Huge rocks of sulfur were also shot forth from that mountain just as a fire, burning with a medium flame, would emit smoke, columns of smoke. So you can see boulders of sulfur also coming out. Girina pidyamanena pidyamanani sarvashaha guhavishtani bhutani vinedur vikritai swarai. Naturally, when so much pressure is there on the mountain, then it's going to affect all the creatures which are there. So creatures which are living in their dens, they all are seeing that creaking sound and everything. They are also shrieking in their own sounds. Being pressed on all sides by the mountain, which itself was being pressed by Hanuman, creatures living in the caves of that mountains shrieked in horrifying tones. All this is happening because of the presence of Hanuman. It's also an indication of the unlimited power of Hanuman. So now we meditate upon the power of Hanuman. Atulita baladhamam, hema shailabhadeham, danujavana krishanum, jnaninam agraganyam, sakala gunanidhanam, vanaranam adhisham, raghupati priya bhaktam vatajatam namami. We offer this today's reading and study at the lotus feet of Hanuman. Hari Om Tat Sat.